Welcome to this explainer. Imagine, just for a second, that the physical reality you absolutely trust every single day is really just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we're going to take a deliberate dive into what is, honestly, one of the most profound internal shifts you can ever experience. We're talking about that monumental moment when you actually stop, look around, and realize there is so much more beneath the surface. It's an awakening, not just to your true spiritual nature, but to your literal biological power. We're going to unpack a brilliant framework today that maps out exactly how this whole transformation happens, starting from our tiny human perceptions and ending in just ultimate, profound gratitude. Let's get into it. Okay, so to kick off this massive paradigm shift, I want you to sit with this thought. Once you realize that nothing is as it appears, literally let that challenge everything you currently think you know about existence. Our source material starts with this incredibly bold, almost jarring premise. Nothing is as it appears, nothing is as it sounds, and honestly, nothing is exactly as you perceive it. The whole foundation of your daily life, the sights, the sounds, the firm beliefs you hold, they're basically incomplete. It's asking us to strip away all those assumptions and recognize that the universe we're interacting with, it's just a tiny fraction of what's actually out there. So why is nothing as it appears or sounds? Well, simply put, our human capacities are naturally limited. It's kind of like an old school radio. We're only tuned to catch a super narrow band of the frequencies that are broadcasting all around us all the time. We only have a few senses, and they can only process so much data at once. What that means is the entire universe you've built in your head and the world you're navigating out there is based on highly limited data. You're looking through a really narrow lens. But hey, recognizing this isn't supposed to make you feel small. Actually, realizing the limits of your own perception is the exact catalyst you need to break free from them. Right, so the crucial point here is that acknowledging these sensory limits absolutely does not diminish us. Instead, it triggers this magnificent inward transformation in how we view our entire existence. When you finally accept, okay, I can't rely solely on what my limited senses are telling me, your perspective on the universe and everything you'd built undergoes a massive shift. You stop looking at the world as this rigid, unchangeable physical box, and you start seeing the vast, unseen potential within it. This is where the real journey begins. It's the exact moment you stop looking outward for all your answers and start that beautiful transformation of looking within. Now, this transformation doesn't just happen overnight, right? It unfolds in a definitive three-part cascade. First up, the shift begins deep within. It's an internal transformation of perspective, where you recognize the illusion of perception. Second, that internal shift starts bleeding into your external reality. It reflects in your life choices. You naturally begin choosing different paths, different reactions, maybe even totally different environments that align with this new understanding. And third, this sequence of conscious choices leads you right back to your most authentic self. You shed those thick layers of limited perception, and you finally feel like you've come home to who you truly are. And the ultimate destination of this journey, becoming an awakened soul. What's absolutely fascinating about this state is the sheer freedom it gives you. I mean, when you return to your true self, nothing tortures you anymore. Those exhausting trivialities that used to eat up your day and spin your mind in circles, they simply cannot steal your attention anymore. You realize they were just products of that illusionary perception we talked about earlier. Plus, your dependence on external factors completely ceases. You depend on no one and nothing, because your foundation isn't precariously balanced on the unpredictable outside world anymore. You can really see the stark contrast here between how we used to operate versus this awakened state. On one hand, you've got this life of distracted dependence, you know the feeling, relying on everyone and everything out there to dictate your peace, constantly reacting to the chaos of whatever your limited senses pick up. But on the flip side, we transition to pure mindfulness. Instead of frantically looking outward, we calmly focus inward. We trade the external noise for deep internal clarity. We step completely away from the trivialities and anchor ourselves in a pure, unbreakable mindfulness that the outside world literally cannot shake. So, why is focusing inward such a game changer? Well, because as the source material reveals, your existence is fundamentally a piece of God, the universe, or higher energy, whichever term resonates with you. You aren't separate from the grand design. You are a literal fragment of it. So by turning inward with that pure mindfulness, you align yourself perfectly with the source of life itself. And when you make that alignment, incredible things happen. The text notes that the source wisely leads your path. You stop trying to force your way through life, and instead, you find yourself swimming in ultimate abundance. You're being guided by the exact energy that created you.
Up to this point, we've explored the ethereal vastness of the mind and the soul. We've talked about perception, higher energy, and this incredible, unbreakable inner peace. But to grasp the full picture of this philosophy, we have to ask a really vital question. How does our physical body fit into this cosmic awakening? Because it would be a huge mistake to think that returning to your true self means you just completely ignore the biological vessel you're walking around in. This awakening isn't just spiritual, it is deeply, profoundly physical too.
Far beyond just being a temporary shell or, a fleshy taxi to get you from point A to point B, your physical vessel is an extraordinary system. The source text heavily emphasizes that the human body is packed with boundless hidden capacities and vital powers that are just waiting to be recognized. When we get caught up in those daily trivialities we talked about earlier, we tend to treat our bodies like mere tools, or worse, like burdens. But once you awaken and point that pure mindfulness inward, you actually start to see the body for what it truly is, an absolute biological marvel.
I mean, your body possesses miraculous survival mechanisms. Just think about this for a second. Your body regenerates millions of cells every single second without you even having to ask it to. It's constantly adapting, healing, and surviving in ways that totally defy simple explanation. The text points out that if you simply choose to remain an aware observer of this vessel, you're going to be absolutely astonished by your own unparalleled power, unmatched speed, boundless capacity, and hidden talent. These aren't just metaphors. They are literal, vital powers hardwired into your biology. When you actually stop to notice these mechanisms in action, it leaves you completely awestruck. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway for your everyday life. When you combine the awakening of the soul with the recognition of this unmatched biological power, what is the only logical response? Profound gratitude. As the text so beautifully commands, be grateful with every single breath. When it finally clicks that your mind is connected to the ultimate source of the universe, and your body is this miraculous, powerful system designed to thrive, gratitude just becomes your natural default state. Every single breath is a testament to that hidden capacity and that higher alignment. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final lingering thought. The journey to the true self requires you to look past your limited perceptions, drop the exhausting trivialities, and deeply align with the higher energy inside you. But it also requires you to honor the physical form that makes this whole earthly experience possible. So, I have a challenge for you. Knowing that nothing is as it appears and knowing the boundless power hidden right there inside you, will you choose to truly witness and appreciate the miracle of your own existence today? Step into that pure mindfulness, remain an aware observer, and just see how abundant your path becomes.